What is going on, guys? This is May 17th. Just got done with cardio, cooking breakfast right now. And this is going to be day 30 out of 30 of posting on YouTube every single day. I gotta take these ends out. Oh, they're so slippery, they're like sliding around. This is gonna be day 30 out of 30 of posting on YouTube every single day. 30 days ago, I set a goal for myself that I was gonna post on YouTube every single day. I bought a laptop and a camera to do it. And I told myself that if I didn't post for 30 days in a row and I missed one day, then I had to return both of them because I wanted to lock myself in. I wanted to have some kind of incentive for myself to continue to do it because it was something I've always wanted to do, because in my opinion, YouTube is the best form of content that I can actually provide value to people and help change people's lives. Because, you know, TikTok and Instagram are great and all, but they're short videos. People's attention spans aren't very long on them. It's hard to get your full message across. A lot of messages that I want to give, you know, sure, I can make a video in 60 seconds about it, but you can't get the full idea of it. You can't get the full grasp of it. And so I wanted to start doing YouTube. I started doing it 3 years ago when I was in the Marine Corps because I love it so much, and then I stopped. But here we are, day 30 out of 30, and I can't begin to tell you guys how fucking grateful I am for all the people subscribing, leaving comments, liking the videos. It's hard for me to put into words and express to you how much that means to me, because as a person, I find a lot of my value in myself and my purpose here from helping others, to helping others grow. That's what makes me feel, you know, worth something, I suppose. And is that the most mentally healthy thing in the world? Probably not. But that makes me feel like I'm worth something. I've struggled with depression and anxiety for a long time and struggled with my own self-worth, and seeing that I'm actually helping people and providing useful information, value to their lives. I can't even, like, you guys don't understand how much that means to me. So for anybody new here, I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself, who I am, what I'm about, that kind of stuff. So right out of high school, at 19 years old, I joined the Marine Corps Infantry, and I went to Camp Lejeune. During that time, I deployed on a MEU where I went to Dubai, Spain, Germany, Latvia, Greece, all kinds of cool countries and stuff. And whenever I was in the Marine Corps, you know, things sucked. Everybody's pretty much depressed in the Marine Corps. Everybody is like an alcoholic in the Marine Corps, and it's just a pretty toxic environment, you know what I mean? But I think that it's needed. I think it's important, and I'm grateful for it now, because you need to be that way to be one of America's best fighting forces, you know? You have to be prepared to go to battle and, you know, kill people and fight and not give up in those moments and not be weak. So it's needed. You have to be that kind of person, and it is what it is. And I learned a lot from my time in, and I'm grateful for it and happy that I joined. I would never take it back, but that's the reality of it. And I'm probably going to make more videos talking about my time in the Marine Corps in the coming months. But whenever I got out of the Marine Corps, I went through a very, almost, I wouldn't say traumatic, but I went through this time period where I didn't know who I was as a person, and I felt very lost, and I went through this like identity crisis that a lot of guys that get out of the military deal with, because you spend these very fundamental years of your life whenever you're 18, it's like 21, 22, in this group of people that are all the same. You're all Marines, you're all thinking the same, doing the same thing. You're all pretty much just a replica of each person, and you're pretty much indoctrined into believing all the things they teach you and thinking a certain way. And your life is the Marines. What you are is a Marine. And every day you're told what to do, how to do it, what the mission is. And you have this sense of purpose because you're a Marine. Your job and your purpose at that time period is defending America, possibly going to war and all that stuff. And then you get out and you go into the civilian world, and that identity is stripped from you. And now you're nobody. You don't know who you are because you're not a Marine anymore. And so it's like, who the fuck are you? And there's a phrase, you know, once a Marine, always a Marine, and that is somewhat true. But some guys, whenever they get out, they don't keep that Marine Corps mindset. They don't stay mentally tough, disciplined and stuff, and they experience the comfort of life once they get out in the civilian world of people not telling them what they have to do, how they have to do it, and all this stuff. And they get complacent, and they just start, and that's why a lot of guys, they become alcoholics when they get out. They get depressed and all this stuff. They don't find a new purpose and start to develop themselves. So I went through this time period whenever I got out for a couple months where I was extremely depressed, and I was trying to find myself. I lost a bunch of weight, and it was just a really sad time in my life. And I was at a time where I wanted to take my own life. And something I wrote in my notes here back in December 2020 is, everyone is so afraid of dying. One thing I've begun to understand is, as I get older and more mature, is that death isn't scary. With death comes the release from this world of pain and suffering. It is living that is hard, a constant battle day to day. Maybe that's just an indication of the way I'm living. Maybe I need to make some serious changes to my life so that death becomes the thing that I'm afraid of rather than life. Man, reading that out loud is a little bit hard for me because it brings me back to how I was feeling at the time. I would cry in the shower every night and just asking God, why am I not happy? And just, I would smoke weed all day, every day to try to escape reality and escape my mind because I wasn't happy with who I am. I didn't know who I was, and I just didn't understand. And I would fantasize about waking up in the middle of the night and, just boom, and like getting into car crashes and just hoping that it would happen because I didn't want to take it myself. And I was just hoping I would die because I wasn't happy with my life. I didn't know what the point of life was. It felt like it was this pointless thing of just dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, to just go work in the system and work a job and have a family and do these things. But the real purpose, the deeper purpose, I didn't know what it was. But in that note at the end of it, you can see I came to this realization that I need to take accountability of my life and I need to make fucking changes, man. That my life is a representation of my actions and my lack of actions, rather than just telling myself that it's just life that sucks. It's the way I'm living that sucks. And so I hired a bodybuilding coach in December, and I did my first growing phase, and then I did a prep a year later, and I can't tell you how much that changed my life. Setting a goal for myself and putting in the work to achieve that goal in over a year and seeing the results of it, and that changed me. That changed who I was. And along that journey, I developed so much confidence in myself. And I developed, and not like that cocky confidence of being a douchebag and a loud asshole, this confidence that I knew within myself that I was capable of doing anything that I set my mind to. And I felt sure of myself, and I wanted other people to feel that. So I started posting on social media a bit because that's my whole goal on social media. It always has been because of that reason, to help guys that are in that same situation, that are lost in life, find their path in life, find purpose, and stop avoiding struggle, stop victimizing themselves and take accountability of their life. And I wanted to spread that message to guys and help them out. So I started posting on social media. And in June of 2021, I got my girlfriend, who I'm still dating now 3 years later. She's an amazing girl. But whenever I was in the Marine Corps, I was a bit of a man-ho, dude. I was talking to 10 girls at once, just trying to get laid as much as I could. And I learned a lot about relationships, about women and stuff along the way too. And I finally found a girl that is, an amazing girlfriend, going to make a great wife one day, and truly supports me and loves me and cares for me. We have a great relationship, and I've found this great balance of being a man, standing up for myself, but also not allowing my insecurities to affect her, and being fair and communicating with each other. And I've learned a lot of lessons there with relationships and how to build a good relationship, how to find a girl that's going to make a good girlfriend, and how to stay away from girls that aren't going to make good girlfriends and might try to manipulate you or deceive you into thinking that they are that kind of girl. And so I look to help guys with that as well, because a lot of guys, they want to say all women are horrible, all women are evil because of who they are. They only attract these shitty girls that manipulate them, deceive them, lie to them, cheat on them, all this stuff. And they don't look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, maybe it's because of who I am right now and I'm not attracting the right kind of girl. Or they aren't capable of seeing the signs of the difference between a good girl and a girl that's going to, be a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And so then from there, I did another growing phase. Then I did 2 more shows in October of 2022. And since then, I've just been growing, spending time putting on muscle and size. And my goal is to just go as far as I can with bodybuilding, obviously to get my IFBB Pro card. And then, if I have the genetics for it, I know I have the mindset, the mentality, the work ethic, the mental toughness to go as far as I can. But if I have the genetics to go to the Olympia, then that would be my overall goal. But we're going to see over the next couple of years, how much I grow, what I look like whenever I have enough size on, all that good stuff. And then along the way also, whenever I got out of the Marine Corps, I was living in the same apartment complex with my dad. I didn't have any money. I was depressed and I hated who I saw in the mirror. And now I live in that same apartment complex with my own business I've built through online coaching, helping change men's lives, truly changing men's lives. Because as an online coach, I don't just give them a meal plan and a training plan. I'm there to support them through life, give them advice, because it's my belief that along the way of your fitness journey, you need to develop yourself, you need to develop your mind, your soul along the way. And that's what's going to allow you to reach your physique goals and maintain your physique goals and fall in love with the progress of achieving the physique you want to, rather than just having this end goal in sight of achieving the physique and the physique being the prize. You fall in love with the progress, you fall in love with the journey of reaching your physique. So that's who I am as a coach. And now I live in this apartment complex on my own. I drive an Audi R8 now. And, I'm making good money and I'm proud of myself. And I'm at this point in my life now where like my car, my R8, I didn't get it because it's this expensive car and I want people to look at me because it's flashy. Sometimes I wish it just looked like an old truck or an old sedan to people because I just like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. and it's fun to drive. I enjoy it, but I didn't get it with the thought in my head that this is going to make me happy, because money and things, I've really learned that they aren't going to bring you happiness. You're just going to end up in this loop of constantly chasing new things if that's what you're deriving your happiness from. You have to find your happiness through purpose and through helping others and trying to grow as a person. That's how you find happiness in life. And I'll throw up some pictures on the screen right now of right now, whenever I was in the Marines versus now. And then I'll throw up on the screen right now, whenever I got out of the Marines and lost all that weight, to now as well, just so you can kind of see my bodybuilding journey as well. But now, like I said, my goals in life are going as far as I can with bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the fundamental, my foundation of who I am as a person. It's my solid foundation that I've built, that it gets done no matter what. It's who I am as a person. And it's what keeps, it's like the glue that holds my life together whenever everything else feels like it's falling apart. And then on top of that, my online coaching business is obviously extremely important to me as well. I love all my clients to death, and I want to help them grow as much as I can. And then on top of that, doing social media so that I can reach as many people as I can, help as many young men change their lives for the better and understand what true masculinity is, develop confidence in themselves so they can actually go out into the world and change it for the better. Because there's so many bad influences out there for young men, and there's so many young men out there that are lost. And I feel like society today doesn't want men to be men, and in turn it's making them insecure and not like their life. And I truly believe men are the foundation of what changes the fucking world whenever they're taught how to be masculine men. And in my mind, it's like, if I change one guy's life, he can change 3 more, and they can change 5 more, and it's this compounding effect that can change the world one day, man. And I know right now my YouTube page is small, my social media page is small, but I have big visions. I want to change the world. I want to be an impact in people's lives and be a positive impact at that. And I want to bring masculinity back, and I want to help young men develop that confidence in themselves and change the world, man, and see their true potential. Because a lot of guys today, they aren't capable of seeing their true potential because they've never had to go through adversity or struggle, so they don't know what they're capable of. And so I want to help young men seek out adversity, struggle, and test themselves through hard times and see that they're capable of doing anything they set their mind to. Whew, that was a lot. But like I was saying, in the Marine Corps, I learned a lot of lessons about life, about who I am, and I've taken those into the civilian world and applied them, and they've helped make me who I am. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some of those lessons and how you can apply them to your life to become a better man, reach your goals, and do everything you want to do in this life. But like I said, I just appreciate all of you for subscribing, for commenting. I'm going to try to get back to all the comments today and tomorrow, but I just appreciate them more than you can understand, because like I said, a lot of my value of who I am, I derive that from helping others and providing value to others' lives. I've always been this guy in people's lives that's helped my friends with life advice, with girl advice, and I've always been that guy because it's what makes me feel good inside. I love it. I love helping people develop better understandings of the world and develop better understandings of life so that they can grow and be better as well. It's a feeling that fills my soul with happiness, fulfillment, with joy, whatever the word you want to use is. But we're going to get back to cooking breakfast real quick. But like I said, I appreciate all of you. And just to give you guys a little bit of a physique update, I'll put on the screen right now a transformation photo of the beginning of this cut at 174 pounds on March 3rd to now. At my top weight this week was 194, and the lowest I've been was 190.4 pounds. And something you need to understand about growing phases and cutting your weight fluctuates. So I look at the highest high of the week and the lowest low, and that's what I compare to the previous week, not just one weight a week. But this is how we're looking right now. And these are the wheels. So obviously we're staying pretty lean right now. A lot of people are under the impression that you need to put on all this fat during your growing phase because they want to see that weight on the scale jump up for that instant gratification. But the reality is, during your growing phase, you want to see slow, steady weight gain each week. That way you can keep off as much body fat as possible, but also put on as much weight as possible. Muscle being that weight. You know, we don't just want weight gain, we want muscle gain. Okay, so this is the growing phase so far. If we compare to my top weight this week, I'm up 20 pounds so far over 11 weeks, which is pretty awesome. And I got 9 more weeks to go out of this 20-week growing phase. So very excited with the progress so far. So it's about 2:45 right now, eating the pre-workout meal before we get ready to go hit back and hamstrings. Pretty boring day. But one thing I forgot to mention whenever I was going through kind of my past and my story and everything is I'm also a 2-time college dropout. So after getting out of the Marine Corps, I went to college for a year for accounting, and then I dropped out of that school and that major, went to a different school for 1 semester, and that was for exercise science. Now, something you have to realize is I told myself I was going to school because I got BAH from the GI Bill, so I was getting paid for housing, food and stuff, and it was covered. And I always knew that I didn't really want to go the traditional route. I didn't want to go the traditional college route. I wanted to start my own gym or start my own business somehow, but it felt safe going to college, you know? I was getting money from the GI Bill for it, and I was working towards something, so I didn't have to be judged by others because I was working towards a goal that they could see. But what I knew I really wanted to do was social media full time, so I tried to juggle both of them. And then after that 1 semester at the exercise science school, where my girlfriend was going with me as well, getting her master's, I left for this job that was a life insurance job. And I was like, okay, I'll do the life insurance job because I can make my own schedule and stuff and do the coaching on the side until that's sustainable full time. And I was miserable there, man. It fucking sucked. I didn't like calling people and selling life insurance and stuff. It just didn't make me feel good about myself. So in August of 2023, I left there and I started doing coaching full time. And I had my biggest month ever I had my biggest month at the time where I did like 22,000 a month. And then since then, my biggest month is 30,000 a month. But that was kind of where I finally put all the money on myself, said, fuck trying to look good to everybody else. Fuck trying to have this secure safety net. We're burning the fucking boats, throwing the torch on it, watching it go up, no way back, and we're going full steam ahead towards our goals. And since then, things have been going fucking great. Now, this isn't me telling you should just drop out of school and stuff. You should have a plan and all that good stuff before you consider that. And I really wrestled with the thought inside of my head, am I stopping school because it's difficult? Right? And am I quitting because it's hard? Am I being a quitter? Or am I leaving because I know it's not for me and I have bigger dreams, bigger goals, and other things I want to achieve? I would go back and forth with myself on this because I didn't care about other people viewing me as quitting. I did a little bit, but the biggest concern in my head was I don't want to be a quitter. I don't want to be the kind of person that stops doing something when it's difficult. And every goal is going to come with difficulties and struggles. And so I battled with this thought in my head. Am I leaving just because it's hard and I'm convincing myself that I don't want to do it anymore? Or do I truly not want to do it and I have a better idea in my mind of what I want to do? And eventually I listened to my gut, listened to my soul, and I realized, no, it's because I want to do something else. And I'm going to do, in that thing that I want to do, I don't care what hardships come up, what struggles come up, I'm going to fight through them and I'm going to be successful in that thing. That was how I knew it was the right thing for me to do. But a lot of people, they convince themselves of that same thing that I came to the conclusion for myself of. They convince themselves, no, I'm going to pursue this other goal and I don't care what hardships come in the way. I'm going to keep going towards it. But then they come in the way and then they convince themselves that same thing about that thing and they switch to a new thing and they do this thing where every time hardships and struggles come up, they convince themselves this isn't for me, moving on to the next thing. That's not the way to do it. You need to find something that you're truly passionate about, be positive about it, be sure about it, and then go full steam ahead with that thing. But you gotta be sure, man, because whenever those hardships and struggles come up, you're gonna start to kind of convince yourself, oh, maybe it's not for me. Oh, maybe I wasn't meant for this, blah, blah, blah. But you need to be so sure of yourself and understand your why for doing it. And it has to be so strong in your soul that it doesn't matter what hardships come up, you're gonna be able to push past them.
I am on my way to the grocery store right now. It's about, what time is it? Let me see. I'm on my way to the grocery store right now. It's about 9 o'clock. I got one more chicken meal left and I am all out of fucking chicken. So I just fucking hate when that happens, but gotta do what you gotta do. First thing I learned in the Marine Corps I wanted to talk about is a phrase called complacency kills. So whenever you're in the Marines, we do a lot of things called like fire watch and stuff like that, where one person stays asleep and the other person is on watch to wait and see if, someone attacks or whatever. And we do this whenever we're out in the field, basically playing like war games, they're called, pretending that we're in like a fight. There's an Op 4 out there and like they attack us and all this stuff, and we go on patrols, all that, blah, blah, blah. And one of the phrases we use, complacency kills, is if you get complacent, you aren't on high alert, constantly looking for IEDs or signs of the enemy, or constantly just looking around for them and aware and waiting and kind of on edge, you'll get you and your friends killed. You always have to be on edge and on your shit and looking out for signs of the enemy. And this phrase applies to life as well, because complacency kills all things. And the biggest thing that it kills out in the civilian world is your fucking dreams. The moment you begin to get complacent in the small things, the small little details that you need to be disciplined in order to be successful, that's whenever you're gonna start to get comfortable. And the moment you get comfortable is whenever you start to fail and you start to give up on your dreams, and then before you know it, you're just fucking not doing it anymore. And it all begins with a moment of complacency, which then leads to a moment of comfort, and then you seeking out more comfort via getting more complacent, and it's this endless cycle until basically you are running from struggle and adversity and seeking out comfort nonstop. And that is how you fail at chasing your dreams and you don't accomplish anything in life. So with that being said, you need to stay on your shit whenever you're trying hard to reach a new goal, whenever you're trying hard to be the best version of yourself. Don't get complacent in the small things. Waking up late one time, that's getting complacent. Missing one meal in one day is getting complacent. Having one cheat meal is getting complacent. If you have a goal of posting on social media every day, not doing that one day is getting complacent. The little fucking things, the little fucking tiny things. And a lot of people start to get complacent whenever they get a little taste of success. They make a couple $1,000s. They can see their abs for the first time. They hit a new PR in the gym. And so they get a little bit comfortable and they start to get complacent because of that. And then they fall off and they wonder why they fell off and either got fat or their business failed and they didn't make any money the next month or whatever. It's because the things that led them to have the success in the first place, they stopped doing them because they got complacent. It's the tiny foundational little things that you need to stay disciplined in, and you need to have that stress to get them done, because that's what happens to a lot of people. They lose that stress, that little bit of anxiety you have to do little shit and be a perfectionist and get everything done. You need that anxiety. You can't get comfortable and start to enjoy things too much, because then you lose it and then you start getting complacent and then comfortable. It's this cycle and you need to be aware of it. You need to always feel like you're the underdog. You need to always feel like you're not winning, like you got more to win, and you're at the bottom. You never want to feel like you're rich. You never want to feel like you're too big, because that's whenever you start to get complacent and then comfortable, and that's whenever things start to fall off and you aren't successful anymore. So that is the first one for you guys. I'm about to go in, grab some groceries, and I'll be right back. Now, the next phrase that we used all the time in the Marine Corps is embrace the suck, right? Because there are a ton of moments in the Marine Corps that things just fucking suck. Whenever you're out in the field and it starts raining and shit, you can either choose to cry and complain and mope about it, or you can go out and roll around in the fucking mud and just embrace it and have fun with it. And that is just like with life. Life is always gonna have moments where it sucks, no matter how hard you try to avoid the suckiness. In fact, if you try to avoid the suckiness too much, it's going to lead to things sucking even more because of your mentality towards it. You complaining and moping and crying about your situation is not going to change the situation, but what you can change is your mentality towards the situation. Are you facing a struggle right now, or are you facing a challenge? Those two words have completely different meanings. A hardship, a struggle is shitty, and it makes you feel depressed and down. But if you're facing a challenge, it sounds fun, exciting, and something that you're excited to overcome and grow through. And this is especially important to remember whenever you're trying to achieve a goal or accomplish anything in life. There's going to be hardships. There's going to be times where it fucking sucks. And if you embrace the suck and just accept the part, that it is a part of growth, and it is just a part of the process, then it doesn't suck anymore. It's just a part of the process. It's just something you gotta go through, and something that once you get through it, you're gonna become a better version of yourself. So embracing the suck, very important. The next one is adapt and overcome. Life is fucking chaotic. It's constantly changing. It's always gonna challenge you. It's always gonna try to get in your way of you achieving your goals. So you need to learn how to adapt to new circumstances and new situations in your environment so that you can overcome the challenges that come with trying to achieve a goal and better yourself. For example, if you're in a growing phase or trying to reach a physique goal and you have a meal plan you're trying to follow, meal prepping is gonna allow you to adapt to any circumstance that comes your way so that your meals are ready and nothing can get in your way of you getting your meals in. And having a portable microwave that you keep in your car will allow you to heat the meals up. That's adapting to new situations and allowing you to then overcome them. But if you constantly allow life, the chaos of life, to dictate whether you're gonna be successful or whether you're gonna fail, you're going to fail. because it's always going to be chaotic. There's always going to be bullshit that comes up that life throws your way. And you simply need to just accept that and build mental toughness and discipline, which will then allow you to overcome them. Those are like your tools to fight against the struggles and chaos that life throws at you. Developing those are your sword and your armor that allow you to fight and be protected from the adversity that life throws your way and the chaos. So learning to adapt and overcome, also very important. And there's a lot more phrases and different things that we said in the Marine Corps that carry over into civilian life as well. But those are just a few of them that I'm going over in this video that I think are very important that come to mind right away. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a little something, and hope that you actually apply these to your life and start to use them in your life, because they don't really mean shit or do shit if you just hear me talk about them and you're like, damn, that sounds really useful, that sounds really good, blah, blah. You have to actually start to implement them. So hope you guys learned something, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.